Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing really well. So, today is a beautiful full moon, and this is a full moon in Cancer. So, we know that Cancer is a sign of deep emotions, it's a sign of really connecting with your emotional self, your feminine self as well, and tapping into how you're feeling and what those feelings are trying to tell you about yourself, about your life, about your journey. So, the general full moon is a very powerful full moon today. It's bringing in a lot of peace. I feel like there was a lot of upheaval in the last week or so. And with this full moon, many of you will be feeling peaceful, you'll be feeling really happy, you will be connecting with your feminine self more than ever. Especially if you have been doing the inner work, this will feel like a very blessed full moon. I think that this full moon is carrying so many blessings. There is a grace which is present in the air, divine grace in so many forms, that if you are just receptive to it, you will start to feel it. And I also feel that the divine masculine energy is also feeling, this powerful need for the divine feminines today, this sense of an understanding of what this connection is, however mysterious it seems to them. They are not oblivious to the feeling of oneness that they share with you. But I also feel that while we speak of the divine masculine energies, we know of the love that the divine feminine and divine masculine always have for each other. This is a full moon of the divine feminine. The moon energy is linked to the feminine energy always. And what I am receiving today is that it is about coming into your full power. The last few days, maybe the triggers that you've been experiencing, maybe, the fact that we had a winter solstice, the sun is now going to start moving again to the northern hemisphere. Many of you will be naturally living in the northern hemisphere because that's the more populated part of the world. This full moon is something which is balancing you and really asking you to come into your divine feminine power. Why I'm also saying that is because, today I happen to have gone to a very powerful goddess temple in the eastern part of India. It's one of those very, very powerful temples of goddess Kali. And this temple held such powerful energies. It was truly magical how I was called to this temple. I started off for another temple actually, but then I realized that temple today is closed for some reason. So I was redirected to go here. And on my Uber, when I changed the destination to this temple, just randomly, it showed that my arrival time will be 11:11 a.m. And I was so surprised at this. I felt like the goddess is literally calling me to this temple. So when I ended up going there, there was such a huge crowd today because it's a full moon. And but I just prayed that I end up seeing the goddess before the temple closes for the first half. And I actually had some help, within there. And I had a beautiful, beautiful viewing of the goddess. And the goddess, Kali here, she was actually standing on Shiva, so with her foot on Shiva, meaning that she is somebody who has control over her ego. She has successfully defeated her ego. And for divine feminines, this means that when you awaken the divine feminine energy, immediately, the distorted masculine energy starts to dissolve. So when you are focused on the divine masculine and you're wondering, why is he not coming? When will he message? And when will he awaken? And all of that, that is basically all dependent on your awakening. So, this is such a strong message that I hope you all receive it. I will share an image of the temple of the goddess, as you can see on the screen. So, the divine feminines, you really have the power. You're not a helpless being to whom this journey is happening. but you are very, very powerful. You own this journey, and it's basically in your hands, it's in your control 100%. If you can start to see it from that point of view, things will shift for you, things will change, and you will start to feel better. You will not have those, day to day, like helpless moments of wondering what your divine masculine is up to, or trying to stalk them, and all of that energy will fall apart. You don't need that energy anyway. So, this is what I am receiving for everyone here today, that you have the power to awaken. This goddess form is also what is present inside you as a divine feminine. And if you're going through a Kundalini awakening anyway, this is the goddess that is rising in you. So connect with this and connect with the form if you feel called to do that, or any other goddess form if you want to do that. But most importantly, remember that you have the power in this journey. You don't really have to think that you're helpless and you're waiting and it just depends on your divine masculine. It all depends on you. And once you start to come into your power, you start to love yourself, you start to really make this about yourself, you start to get to know yourself, really know yourself. This know thyself bit is so important. And yesterday was Christmas, so really, if you can take something away, it is this, that you have to know yourself, whatever that looks like for you, whether it's knowing your spiritual self, or it's also just knowing, even just knowing, what you liked or didn't like as a child, um, why you started to have certain kinds of conditioning in you. If you maybe picked up conditioning through schools, through family, through society, to drop all of that and to know who you are, not the definition that somebody else has given to you. Really dropping that, really leaving behind your anxieties, and moving into knowing yourself, knowing that you are a goddess in yourself. So a goddess is never afraid, and she's literally not running after her divine masculine. Like, look at Kali in this image, and look at how she has won over her own ego, and she has won over the distorted masculine as well. Like, she is triumphant even over the divine masculine. This is not a message which means that there is no unity behind feminine and masculine energies, but this has a deeper context, a deeper story about how this form of Shakti, started to defeat Shiva, and why this happened. It happened in a fit of rage, and there is a whole story behind it. I don't want to go into the story of this particular aspect of Shiva and Shakti, but this is represented in many temples, to show that Shakti is all powerful. So I want you to connect with it today. And I pulled, a few oracle cards. Like I said that I have my oracle deck now again after a really long time. So I thought, okay, why not just try to see if there is any wisdom coming through for people who tune into this channel. And I received this card. The first card I received was why, and then the guidebook tried to explain to me some things for all three cards. So I'm just going to start explaining to you intuitively what I feel, along with the messages from the guidebook that I read. And with the why card, it is basically about using this full moon today. If there are emotions coming up for you, to start understanding where those emotions are coming from, to start also understanding, what is the purpose of your twin flame journey. I feel like this time of the winter solstice, as well as this full moon, the holiday spirit, the end of the year, this is such a beautiful time for you to have a major shift. And outside major shifts do not happen till something within you shifts. So this within you shifting, can happen if you start understanding the larger purpose of your journey, which is your awakening, the larger purpose, which is your union. So the larger purpose of that, when you have that perspective in mind, it's okay to not worry about the small things, maybe the on and off situation or the third party or something like that. To not let it weigh, heavy on your heart. And also look at the emotions that you're feeling today, and go deeper and understand why you're feeling those emotions. What are they trying to tell you? And once you release those emotions, the energy really shifts for you. You really, really level up as you process past emotions. So the second card was the fates, and I immediately felt that this is a message, from the divine to all of you to know that your twin flame union and your journey and your connection is fated. It's not something that you are creating. Your desire for your twin, your desire for your union, your desire for communication, it's natural, it's fated. So you don't really have to worry about it. You don't have to stay in that energy of the short term things. Like I mentioned, if you see the third card as well, go the distance. It's basically something that will work, that will go the distance. And because it's a journey which takes time, it takes you will have upheavals, you will have ups and downs, your energy will level up and then it'll level down again, and all of that will keep happening. You still have to have the larger perspective of the unity of the both of you, the fact that you both are the same soul, the same consciousness. When you have that perspective and you hold that perspective in your heart, the small ups and downs do not matter. The small ups and downs are merely there for you to analyze what are they bringing up in you. If there are triggers that you're experiencing, what are those triggers really bringing up in you? If it's a low self-esteem wound, or it's a wound of doubt, or a wound of lack of trust, or some fear, some insecurity, inability to surrender. Where is all of this coming from? So utilize that why. Be very curious about what you're experiencing while you're having faith in your union, you're having faith in your journey. And you know that this is a journey which takes time, but also because you're aligning with permanent union. One more thing that I am sensing from this is that do not run after that small communication with your twin flame that so many people run after, right? That I wish I just had that one message, that one phone call, that one, sign. Instead, just focus on the long term vision, meaning that why you're doing your inner work, why you're aligning with, your true self, why you're shedding your old self, how you are really leveling up, what this is really about, to know yourself, to really love yourself, to really let go of the perceptions that you're carrying about yourself, about life, and become very curious about it. Curiously starting to know yourself, curiously starting to align with your awakening, to come into self love, to release your fears, to release any, distorted opinions you have about your sense of self, which are coming from your childhood, especially. So, this is what, this is about. Rather than focusing on that next message, what are they doing, and all of that, heavy energy, which is basically coming from your ego. Again, remembering Kali, as to how empowered she is, and how she is inspiring all of you today, because you tuned into this to become empowered as well, to know your power, to know that you're not some powerless person in this journey. Like Kali, you have a great amount of power. In this connection, you are the leader of this connection. You really hold the key in this connection. So you don't have to feel helpless, but you have to lean into that power. Allow that power to surface, right? And connect with water today, connect with the element of water. If you want, you can go to a lake or a river or the sea or the ocean. It's very, Cancer is basically connected to water, it's a water sign. And the feminine energies in general are connected with the element of water as well. So, actually, incidentally, this temple that I visited was next to the Ganges River. So that was very powerful as well for me to, touch the Ganges, to be in the river for some time. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to speak about today. I hope that, you received the blessing of this divine mother goddess Kali, this goddess, who inspired great enlightened beings like Paramhansa Yogananda himself, and also Ramakrishna Paramhansa. Um, you know, she basically, uh, yeah, he was very devoted to her, and there are beautiful stories of Ramakrishna Paramhansa and goddess Kali. So, this is all I wanted to speak about today, and I'm sending you a lot of love. If you want to book a one on one session with me, you can do that by emailing me. I'll be able to tell you about how it works. These are very powerful sessions. We go very deep and we heal significant, amounts of wounds, and we will basically have a reorientation in your journey. When you come in for these sessions, you definitely have a breakthrough. So if you want that breakthrough, if you want to come out of stagnant energies, and you want to level up, go to the next level in your journey, if you're feeling stuck, then you can book a one-on-one session with me. I have now been able to come up with a structure. If you want to continue to work with me for multiple sessions as well, I would welcome you to do that. And I'm sending you a lot of love. Take care.